Hi guys, hope you're doing well. My name's Lucy and I'm the creator behind Lulu's Crochet and More down in Devon. If you are a new subscriber, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. We're trying something different today. I've only ever done something like this once before and it was a lot simpler than this has turned out to be. But we are going to do a tutorial today. So I have been inspired by the whole amusable craze, shall we say, and I have created my own marshmallow pan. So today we're going to recreate this guy. I can't speak, I'm really sorry, I've got a bit excited. So yeah, he is completely no-sew, or she, and nice and straightforward. Takes less than an hour, probably actually less than 45 minutes if you're not as slow as I am. And you only need a couple of things to make him. So you're going to need some yarn in body colour. I'm using light pink by Yarnsmith's Chenille Chunky. A brown for the legs, I'm using Rust again by Chenille, Yarnsmith's Chenille, I can't speak. And then I sew my eyes on. So if you were going to use safety eyes, I'd say they're probably 12 mils, but I'm going to sew them on with some Yarnsmith's Create double knit, not sponsored, I wish. You'll need a little bit of fibre fill for the stuffing. You'll need a corresponding hook to your yarn. I'm using a 4.5, a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle. And that's it. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start with the legs, and we do these first because these get crocheted into the body, and you want to make two. So start off with a magic circle. Hopefully you can see this okay, and then 4 single crochets. I'm going to do this really slowly, sorry, I'm not used to doing this on camera, so this is either going to turn out fantastically or we'll just scrap the whole video. We'll see in the end. So 4 single crochets into the magic circle, close that tight. Then this bit can get a bit tricky, but we're going to increase into those 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So just bear with, it does work itself out. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and oops, 4. Pull a bit more of yarn tail. As you can tell, I make tutorials all the time. Okie dokie. So 1 single crochet in each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to decrease 3 times and single crochet twice for a total of 5 stitches. So I do an invisible decrease. Invisible decrease, you're going through both front loops. So 1, you don't have to do that. If you prefer to do a normal decrease, that is fine. 2, 3, and then 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, and then for the last 3 rounds you're just going to single crochet in each stitch. Can you see? Sorry, I keep trying to trying to make sure I'm in the camera lens. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then do that for 2 more rounds. Okie dokie, so I have finished my 1 leg and I have made a second one. Woo dear, sorry, put that down there. A second one off camera, so you should have 2 little leggies ready to go. So the next part is to do the body. I'm hoping I've got enough yarn left. I've chosen this pink, which is light pink by Yarn Smith Chenille, and I'm hoping it's enough. So we will crochet the legs into the body as we go. Also, apologies if you can hear any noise in the background. My kids have just come home. It's half term, so I'm stupidly trying to do a tutorial during half term. But anyway, here we go. So start off with magic circle, and we're doing 8 single crochets into the magic circle. I really hope you can see something. I'm gonna watch this back later and be like, oh my goodness, this is awful. Anyway, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So pull that magic circle closed, and then we are going to do single crochet increase 4 times for a total of 12 stitches. So 1, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, and one last time single crochet, increase. We should have 12 stitches. So we're now going to do the same thing again, but this time we're going to do it 6 times for a total of 18 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm really worried I'm going to run out. 5. If we run out, I will continue in a different colour, it doesn't really matter. And 6. This is obviously just for tutorial purposes, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, so that is round 3 done. You should have a total of 18 stitches. Round 4 is 2 single crochets followed by an increase 6 times for a total of 24 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16, 17 and 18, so that's a total of 24 stitches. So we're going to go into the back loops of this next round, and we're going to do a single crochet in each back loop. So obviously you have your front loop, and then just behind it you have your back loop, and that is mainly just to try and get a bit of definition on the marshmallow so it looks a little bit more realistic. Yeah, so back loop only, 24 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 21, 22, 23, 23 and 24. Lovely. Okay, so the next 7 rounds are just a single crochet in each stitch, going through both loops this time, and you will have this little ridgy like dimple on the top, but that will kind of sort itself out once you stuff it. And obviously it's up to you how much stuffing you choose to put in your marshmallow to see how much of a divot you get. So we'll do the first round together, and then I will pause and continue off camera. But just doing a single crochet in each stitch. If you want a fatter marshmallow, you could do less rounds, and if you wanted a thinner, you could do more. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, I'm going to pause there and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've just finished round 12, so that was 7 rounds of single crochet in each stitch, and we're going to now attach the legs on this round. So round 13, I'm going to start with 10 single crochet, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, so to attach the legs, you have got a little bit of a foot in the front, which I hope you can see. And I know it's weird attaching something over 2 stitches and then having a stitch on the leg left, because obviously we've got 5 in the round, but I use it so that when I'm sewing it together, reinforcing the legs on, I have just got that extra stitch that I can sew straight onto the marshmallow. I hope that makes sense. This has passed UKCA testing when I've done it, so it is my go-to method for attaching any limb, is to always try and leave a tail so that you can just reinforce it at the end, which is why we've left a nice tail on the legs, which I hope I told you to do. I probably didn't, so I'll pop something in the text. Anyway, to attach the legs, we're gonna crochet them on using single crochet. So you're going to go through the first 2 stitches on the leg, and then the stitch on the marshmallow, and just single crochet that together. You may find that you need to pull your loops quite tightly, and also make sure that you've got your foot facing towards the marshmallow, so that when it's the right way up, it will sit with its little foot facing the right way. So that's the first one, and then I do go over the tail when I go into the second stitch, and then see we've got that 1 stitch that's left that we can then reinforce at the end. Don't worry, I will show you what I mean. So, whoops, sorry, it's really hard to do this on camera. There we go. That's our second foot on, and then like I said, we've got that 1 stitch left. And then we're going to do 3 single crochets, 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to attach the second leg in the exact same way. So through the leg first, then through the marshmallow, 1, and then again going through the leg. Have I done that correctly? No, I have not. Going through the leg and then through the marshmallow for 2, and then 6 single crochets to finish off the round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are nearly done, guys. Okay, So hopefully you can see your little marshmallow taking shape now. So we're going to do one more round of single crochets in each stitch, but we're going to go in the back loop again. So this is to give us the same sort of definition as on the top. So just 24 single crochets in the back loop only. 3, 4, 21, 22, 23 and 24. So we're just going to decrease for the next 3 rounds to close up our marshmallow. We will stop to stuff him, obviously. So we're going to do 2 single crochets and an invisible decrease. So again, the invisible decrease is going through the front loops only of the stitch, pulling through and pulling through. Sorry, my yarn is getting quite tight, keeps wrapping itself around the chair. So well, that was 3, 4, 5. We should have 18 stitches left at the end of this row. 6. Got myself in a right old tangle. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Get that. Sometimes I struggle to get the front loop only. 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, 17, and 18. She says, there we go. I'm just going to pull up some more yarn. Okay, so next round is a single crochet decrease round. So single crochet decrease, sorry. I'm going to do that 6 times for a total of 12 stitches. Single crochet decrease, single crochet decrease, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so we're going to stuff our little marshmallow now. Got some handy dandy fibre fill here. For UKCA compliance, your stuffing needs to be clean and new. Okay, it doesn't have to have any specific certifications as it's an internal component, but they do say that it has to be clean and new. Right, and if you change internal components, you do need to retest your toy because the flammability reaction could be different. Okay, so once you find a stuffing you like, stick with it. So, right, we've very rudely stuffed our little marshmallow. So as you can see, the top now isn't as inverted as it was. I hope you can see that. So I am actually going to take a little bit of stuffing out because I like mine to have a bit of an indent in the top, like so. You can also, when sewing it up, come up with your tail and just catch the top and pull it back in to give yourself a bit of an indent as well, which is probably what I'm going to do with this one. But I don't like to overstuff them. I think they're quite cute, like understuffed. So last row is just the final row of decreases, and we're going to do single crochet decrease 4 times for a total of 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, so now we're going to sew our little guy up. So just cut the yarn, pull a tail through, and I'm just going to grab a yarn needle. Okie dokie, I've just zoomed out a little bit, so hopefully you'll be able to see the sewing a bit clearer. But what I do, everybody sews their plushies up differently. What I do is I just catch the front loop of each stitch and just pull my yarn through. Sorry. So we're going to do that for a total of 8 stitches, 6, 7 and 8, and then just pull that tight, not too tight because you don't want to snap the yarn. And then what I do is I go straight back through the center and I come up to the top of my marshmallow, and then I just pull a stitch. So I'm sewing over one of my single crochets and I just pull that through nice and loosely, just to give that divot in the top. I actually probably could have got away with a little bit more stuffing, but never mind. And then I leave that tail because I'm going to sew my legs in, and then I'm going to tie off my tails all together. So for the legs, obviously, like I said, we have got that one stitch left, which you can see just here. So what I do is I go through the stitch just above, can you see? Bring that through into the body of the marshmallow, bring my needle through to the other side of the leg, and then I do the same thing on the other side. So I catch just above where we single crocheted in and back into the body, back through to the other side again, and I just do that several times just to make sure that that leg is nice and secure. This is just personal preference, even though I know this is past the weight testing. I am a paranoid person, so yeah, I'm just going to pull that yarn tail through like so, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other legs. I'll show you again once I get this threaded. So up through that stitch we didn't end up working, into the body, to the other side, in through the leg. Just do that a couple of times until you are happy. If I had my way, I'd probably do it about 10 times, but I am being a bit overcautious. I'm going to pull that one up to the same spot, and then I'm going to get my other tail and bring that forward as well. Tie them all off, pick off the extra bits of chenille that you're blatantly going to get. Then I just trim those lengths down, not too much because I don't want that knot to come undone, and then we just hide that in our body like so. Ta-da! And that is our little marshmallow man. So, or woman. Let me just grab some acrylic and we'll put some eyes on him. Okie dokie, so we're going to pop some eyes on our little guy. If you want to use safety eyes, then you can pop them between rows 8 and 9, about 4 stitches apart. I'm going to sew mine on because I've lost my eye tool basically, and I cannot get safety eyes on without it. And I also quite enjoy doing sewn on eyes. If you want a more in-depth tutorial on how I sew my eyes on, please do let me know. I'm just going to do these relatively quickly for the purpose of this video. I do normally go into a bit more detail. Let's move you out of the way. Do you like my hook? It's one of my favourites. again with UKCA, if you are going to sew your eyes on, you do need to make sure that they are then going to pass the credit card test. So they need to be pretty close to the body. So I've got some fluff here, but we'll sort that out in a minute. I like to do quite a big eye because obviously if I was putting safety eyes in, it would be a relatively sized eye. So like that. I'm gonna go down. Sorry, I was doing all that off camera. There we go. There we are. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come across here and back across over here to give some little eyelashes like that. And then I catch it and secure it so that we don't have one long stitch, because that wouldn't pass testing. I will go back and sort all the fluffy bits out. So that's one eye. I would also put some white here normally, but because this yarn is so pale, it's not going to show up very well, so I'm not going to bother. You could run a different colour. You could do like a nice light blue or a green. That would look nice. But just for the purposes of this video, we're just going to stick with plain black eyes for the minute. So I'm literally just going back and forth over the one row. One side has come out a lot bigger than the other. There we go, catch it there. Yeah, there we are. Back and forth until you are happy with the size of your eye. I've got to the point now where I actually quite enjoy doing sewn on eyes. I think you can get some real good character in a sewn on eye that you can't get in a safety eye. Don't get me wrong, I love the convenience of safety eyes because it means I don't have to do this 27,000 times, but I do like how it looks. And coming around, popping back up there. Oops, like that. Securing that in place, and we'll give this guy a little mouth as well, why not? Pop it down. Can you see? Yeah. I'm going to go down here. It's all just trial and error. Come back up. That's really annoying. That's the stuffing coming through. It's just caught on the acrylic as I've brought it through. Might go over that with a few more stitches. Right, anyway, that is your little marshmallow person done. Just tie that off. Snippy, snippy. Hide the tails in there. There we go. Our little marshmallow. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and I hope it was easy enough to follow along with. Yeah, let me know what you think, and let me know if you're going to make one. I like to make them in pink and white because that's the colours that we have over here, but if you make one in a different colour, let me know. Tag me on Instagram, lulu.crochet and more. Sorry, lulus.crochet and more. Or pop a short up on YouTube and tag me in that. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.